All right, so just in case if you missed the lesson from, actually it was on the 10th, we talked about translations and translating the image. A translation is nothing more than a slide of a figure, a image, a segment, a line, whichever. But a translation is a slide. So when you see the word translation, think of a slide. Now this is what a typical problem may look like. It says, what is the image of A, which is at 3, 6, using a translation of every x and y, we're going to go x plus 3 and y minus 5. So what this look like in practice is every single x value, we're actually, and it goes along with what you expect on the coordinate grid. If I'm going to move 3 on the x-axis, what's going to happen is I'm going to go to the right 3 units because it's a plus 3. As far as the y value goes, that's up or down. Given that we have a minus 5, that means that the graph is going to move down 5, or the image of A is going to move down 5. So give me 1 second and I'm going to create a grid really quickly. Okay, so since A is at 3, 6, that's my given image, that's my pre-image. A is the pre-image, and we're going to talk about vocabulary. So that means I'm going to go 3 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. This is going to be the location for A. A is at 3, 6, and I will just put the coordinates right beside it just as a reminder. So when I apply this translation, that means what I'm going to do is slide that point. And what I'm going to do is go 3 to the right. So if I have a graph, what I can do is just physically move my point. I want to go 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be the location for A prime. Now, I don't know if you saw in class, I was using what looked like an apostrophe. That's going to be my final image. So the way how we describe transformations is we have 2 vocabulary words. One is a pre-image. This is the one that we start with, and then we have a final image, which is where it ends up after the translation, reflection, or rotation, or whatever it is may have happened. Now, let's just say, for example, that you don't have a graph, okay? So, one more thing. Let me locate this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a positive 1. So A prime is at 6, 1. Okay, let's just say if you don't have a graph and you're trying to figure out where that point A would be, if you were translating it, one way that we can do it without a graph would be to take our given point. Now we're going to figure out where A prime is. Let me switch colors. So let's say I have A prime here, and I know that no matter what, we starting at 3 for the X value and a 6 for the Y value. So what this tells me, according to my translation rule, is that I need to add 3 to whatever the X is and subtract 5 from whatever the Y value is. So what's going to happen is just like we have predicted here, A prime is going to be at 6, 1. And that's how you would translate an image. Let's just say, for instance, I had a point B, and I'm going to use a different color because I'm doing a little extra. So let's say that B is at 1, 1. Okay, this is my coordinates for 1, 1. I want you to be able to tell me where this point B prime would be. That's my final image after it goes through a translation of X plus 3 and Y minus 5. Take a second, pause the video if you need to. Okay, so if I have graph paper, once again, I can move B to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be my location for B prime, which would happen to be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. Okay, that's where B prime would have to be. Now, if I wanted to do this as if I didn't have a graph, then I would have to solve it kind of similar to what we just did here with A and A prime. So take a second and do that. Okay, so what you can see is now that I've figured out my location for B prime, the previous B was at 1, 1, 3 to the right and 5 down. I ended up at 4, negative 4. And then A, we started out at 3, 6. And once it was translated, we ended up with a point at 6, 1. Once it went through the translation, 3 to the right and 5 down. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you need any additional help, there are online tutors. But remember, Ms. Gable has tutoring Monday and Thursday. And that's after school from 3 to 4 p.m. Okay? I'm always here to help you. Remember, Ms. Gable loves you, and I can work with you as long as you try. Okay? Y'all have a good evening. Okay, I just wanted to do one more just in case to make sure that we are on the same page. So it says write a rule. That's our directions. Write a rule for the translation of triangle ABC to triangle ABC prime. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put a P here on the inside. And that P, if you guessed it, it stands for pre-image. This is where we start. Okay, and so I'm going to put an I on the inside here because this is going to be our final image. Okay, so I want us to be able to write a rule about a translation. So what's going to happen is, no matter what, it has a format. Every X, every Y has to move the same way. Move it, move it. Okay, so what happens is, the basic form for it is we'll say X plus or minus some number, and then Y plus or minus some number. Okay, that's our format, but we can figure it out. Okay, so I'm gonna count. Okay, now I need to go from A to A prime and B to B prime. It should all be the same, and C to C prime. So what happens is here, I will count the spaces, people. So I am 2 away from the x-axis, 1, 2. And then I gotta keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the A on the x-axis, what happens is I just move to the left. So since I move to the left, that's a minus. So it's going to be x minus, and I think I had 6. Let me make sure. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you can always check your work. Ms. Gable does it clearly. Okay, so, and then for the y's, we look at how far we went up or down. And because I know for the y value, I'm going down to go to A prime, I'm going to put a minus sign. Okay, so we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. Okay, so we move to the left and we move down. So it's going to be a minus and a minus. Okay, if you want to check B, we can do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. And then it says we went down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now if you don't believe me, you check it for yourself. But technically, I'm done. I wrote my rule. I know that every X value moves to the left 8 times, and every Y value moved down 5 times. All right, that's it. You're on your own. Go do your homework. Bye-bye.